Yeah.
I remember choosing to unleash that monster. So whenever I was confronted with aggression, I would unleash the monster. But of course, drinking with the various and the drugs brought that monster
To the surface.
very easily, very easily. And I enjoyed the power that it made me, or that it gave me, and it made me feel invincible.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like you start to drink,
Yeah.
or you start to take certain substances, certain stimulants. I felt like Superman.
Yes.
I trained like a mother, I took, all the kind of, enhancing substances I could get hold of, At the time, a lot of amphetamines, a lot of steroids, I became a monster.
So you physically and emotionally became that monster.
I became a monster. I became a monster. And of course, that monster was being expressed within my own home because I was losing control. The monster that was growing inside of me as a result of my trauma was impacting on the people that I love. We always hurt the people that are closest to us. I felt justified by hurting the people that I did. I began to ride with a few guys, and hang out with certain individuals, and we started doing stuff, We started doing stuff.
Tell us about that whole experience of being at school where you were sort of paying protection money, looking up to these bigger kids. It sort of feels like it gave you a bit of an apprenticeship to where you became in your 20s.
Yeah, well, strangely enough, I never hurt those who were victims. Do you know what I mean? I went after the bullies.
Yeah.
That was my thing. I think because I knew what it was like to be victimized. I knew what it was like to be abused. I would always hang out with the nerdy kids, the dorky kids. I mean, I wasn't academic like them. They were all really, quite intelligent. I wasn't. There was some like me. But I understood what it was like to be victimized, to be abused. These guys didn't have the physical presence that I eventually was able to acquire. They had the intellect, but they weren't able to apply that intellect within that space. Eventually, some of them went on and became engineers, business owners, and, gained power that way. So I know what it's like to feel powerlessness, to feel abused, to feel lonely, to feel despair, And of course, the drugs at the time were really medicinal. They were able to help that. They were able to take me out of that low spot,
Yeah. And enhance you up to the top of that pile, like you said, where you were in a well-respected amongst certain organizations.
Yes. We crave for identity and validation. Like I said, I couldn't find it within the school sort of curriculum or within, acceptable sort of avenues. So I found it in the darker underbelly, side of life.